Hello, I'm Daniel. I'm a meditation teacher in Kansas City, and this is my podcast, Sharpening the Mind. The teachings in this podcast are free of charge, but of course, if you feel compelled to make a donation, you can do so by clicking the link in the show notes. Hello. Today, the topic of my talk is, what if human life is good? What if human life is good? This is a teaching that we talk about in Buddhism sometimes. It's a concept called precious human life. Precious human life. And the idea behind it is, and it may be counterintuitive to you, the idea is that we are lucky to be here. We are lucky to be here. And we don't feel lucky all the time. In fact, some of us never feel like we're lucky to be here, right? So it's worth saying, we're lucky to be here. It can be so hard to have a positive view of human life, the world, our place in it, etc. When things are hard, we struggle. And things are always hard, it seems like. The older we get, the more we see that. Sometimes in life, things just get worse and worse. You fall in love and you have your heart broken. You finally buy a house and you realize then the associated expenses will keep you poor forever. It's kind of mine right now. You find some courage and believe in yourself, and then you get kicked in the face. And often it can seem like, if we're paying attention, the very worst people in the world are the ones getting all the success in life. The Buddha said that life is full of suffering, and it can seem sometimes like that's all there is, suffering. But it's not. Life is a struggle. There's no doubt about that at all. It's a struggle for everyone. Even the most successful person in the world has to deal with struggling and pain. But we're still lucky to be here. And lucky to be born at this time in human history. The wise old teacher Longchenpa said, "We have a human form endowed with precious freedoms and advantages." Human form endowed with precious freedoms and advantages. We were not born in a time and place where we could not receive this message. There is no reason why you exist here and now. You didn't do anything for that you know of, but you do exist here and now. This is where you are. That alone is enormously meaningful. We live in a time and place with soap, running water, modern medicine, accessible clean food, and the internet. For so much of human history, these things were simply not available, but to us, they are almost an afterthought. Wondrous things that lift up our lives seem just normal to us because for most of us, they've been around a long time. That's part of this. That's something to be thankful for. One of Abraham Lincoln's sons died as a child because he drank tap water in the White House that was contaminated. And contaminated water was really normal in that time and place. So normal in that time and place that the most powerful man in the nation didn't have clean water in his house, right? Here, we can get clean water almost anywhere. Almost anywhere. I know there are exceptions to that, but almost anywhere. I can go to my tap and I can drink the water and not be afraid that it will poison me, right? And also, additionally, if I'm sort of nervous anyway about my tap water, I can get a filtration system or a Brita pitcher or something, right? I still have further options if I'm skittish about my water. And for almost all of human history, people just died from things like drinking contaminated water regularly. Even powerful people, even rich people, right? And so not only that, of course, we have unprecedented access to clean things, and we can treat diseases that were not treatable in the past, but that's not all this is about. The advantages of our life circumstance also involve giving us unprecedented access to spiritual teachings and other forms of knowledge. There is actually almost nothing you can't learn about if you put forth a small amount of effort to track down the information. That is amazing. In ancient times, Buddhist teachers saw how lucky they were to have the kinds of advantage of circumstance that they had. But I don't think they could have really anticipated the world that you and I live in. They saw that their life circumstances were amazing because Buddhism was available to them, because the Buddha had come and spread his message to where they could receive it. They had the perspective to realize that in another time and place, this path would not have been available, and they wouldn't have been able to reach their full potential. They wouldn't have been able to get anywhere close to reaching their full potential. But they had that opportunity because Buddhism had spread, and we have that opportunity in a much bigger way, several orders of magnitude bigger, because we have access to this teaching and this teaching and this teaching and this teaching, everything in our language. Countless teachings are available to help us reach our potential. Countless teachings, because they've been found, they've been copied, they've been translated, they've been mass-produced, right? So we have this boundless opportunity, and we don't think of it that way a lot of the time. We could get excited about things. We could be reflecting on our opportunities for spiritual practice and for a relatively comfortable life, and we can take joy in that. That's not to say that you don't struggle or I don't struggle. We all struggle, but we have opportunities here that we could be taking advantage of, and things to appreciate. Things to appreciate. We can be grateful instead of spending a lot of our time and energy on the things that don't make us happy. We can rejoice and be glad. And also, we can recognize that we have this big, monumental opportunity. We can strive to live in a more awakened way and reach our full potential, and we should recognize this as a wonderful chance to transform our lives and the lives of the people around us. Strive on because you have attained this fortunate existence. And here's a quote from Longchenpa that will be, I will use that to close our talk here. This is from the text, Finding Rest in the Nature of Mind. Finding Rest in the Nature of the Mind by Longchenpa. Just like a beggar who has chanced upon a treasure of great price, reflect with joy upon your freedom and advantages. In doubt and apprehension that you might be dreaming, implement the sacred Dharma, source of happiness and benefit in this and future lives. Thank you, and have a good day. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.